Hi everybody, Lee here. Thank you for watching this episode of Leading with Lee. Today, I'm sharing something very special because last summer I did a session where I talked about transformational leadership. So if you want to learn anything about creating, innovating, and making a difference, check this out. This is part one of transformational leadership.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the introduction, Brittany. Help. You are so crazy. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you all for being here. Thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time on a Saturday. I know everybody likes to sleep in and do what you got to do on Saturday. But thank you for actually being here and being a part of this event. And we're going to talk about leadership today. I think that every person has capacity and a level of leadership. And so we're going to get into that. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about this idea of transformational leadership, okay? If you're here to take notes, it's a leadership event. So I think you should have paper. I think you should have information in order for you to grow in that way. You my kind of people, Bree. So let's get started. So I have an overarching premise. If it will work. Is it freezing on me? It is freezing on me. That's working. Is it working? Okay, there we go. All right. So this is my overarching premise. I believe that every person is a leader and every person has a capacity and a level of leadership. Okay? I believe that every person is a leader and every person has a capacity and a level of leadership. Leadership is not a position. It is a mindset. It's how you think about a thing. Okay? There's a lot of people who have positions who don't think like leaders. There's a lot of people who are in places where they have influence, but they're not thinking about what is my attitude, my system, my culture, what I'm developing within this organization. How is that affecting people which I lead? And so you need to think about that with your mind. So we all are affected in two areas. We're affected by how we lead ourselves and how we lead other people. Okay? You're affected by how you lead yourself and how you lead other people. If I can't lead me, I can't lead you. If I'm leading you, it's basically based on how I lead myself. So there's an interconnectedness between both of those things. So I'm going to give you my definition of leadership. I believe that leadership is seeing something that has not happened yet and instructing people to go in that direction. Leadership is seeing something that has not happened yet and instructing people to go in that direction. You know, it's interesting because the more and more I've learned and thought about leadership, the more I've understood is that, like, we think that it's a grandiose big thing, like you have to be the CEO of a company. You know, you have to be this big person or whatever. But really, leadership is very simple. It's very simple. It's just like if Miss Jennifer's son Braden told me to go and sit down somewhere. It was like, hey, could you sit right here for a second? That's leadership. Somebody gave me an instruction and I just followed what they told me to do because this is how we're supposed to function. So everybody can function in that way. So today we're going to talk about, as I said, transformational leadership. This is a definition that I found of transformational leadership, which I really, really liked. It is a style of leadership where the leader works with employees to identify the needed change, creating a vision to guide the change through inspiration and executing the change in tandem with committed members of the group. Now, there's a lot of meaty stuff in this definition. I really liked it because so they're identifying that there's something that needs to be different, right? They're saying, hey, let's create a vision or let's create a system in which we're going to accomplish a goal through inspiration. They spent some time with their people. They had conversations with people. They engaged in the subject and they said, okay, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take we're building a building. Okay, we're going to look at all the ways we can build buildings. And then they got people on their team who said, oh yeah, I'm willing to invest and be a part of this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 4 principles today. These are the 4 principles. It's called transformational leadership. Excuse me. It is number 1, cultural shift and impact or influence, galvanizing the masses, innovation, and outlast the individual and sustain the movement. Okay, so let's talk about cultural shift and impact. Culture is defined as the customs, arts, social institutions, and the achievements of a particular nation, people, or other social group. So all of us come from a culture. We have American culture. We have church culture. We have, if you went to a particular university, that university has a particular culture that is significant to that space. And so all of us are affected by this ideal of culture. So there's 4 things I want to talk about. So right now, all of us, whether we want to believe it or not, you're affected by political culture. When laws are passed in a city or an area, it affects your life. If Tulsa decided today to raise 5 cents on toll fees, all of us will be really mad. Because it's like, I already got to pay 45 cents and I generally don't have change on me. So I'm like, why do I have to pay this? But that simple law shifted something in your life. It changed how you were able to function in society. Another type of culture that we're all affected by, and that is very transformational, is relational. Some of you are in relationships. Some of you did not like sushi before you got in a relationship. Some of you did not like going to the gym before you got in a relationship. But that relationship caused you to shift or change what you were doing, right? It caused something to happen different in your life. So that person influenced you to go in a different direction. Your friends influence you. I have friends who definitely influenced me a lot. I've never eaten so much chicken in my life until I got around some of my friends who are amazing and awesome. So we are all affected by that. Partnerships. We're affected by relationships within business or organizations, or some people may be part of fraternities and sororities or whatever it may be. You're affected by those relationships. Another thing we're all affected by is financially. You get more money, you can do a lot more with more money. I definitely want some more money right now. I could use a lot more money. Really, pay off student loan debt. Anyways, all of us are affected by those decisions. Whether if you gain money, it's a good thing. If you lose money, yeah, you're affected by that financial crunch, right? And then the last one is professionally. Many of you have worked for businesses or have started businesses, and you might have been in that organization for some years. And you might have matriculated a little bit, but through your matriculation, there's more responsibility, right? There's more required of you. There's more people that are dependent on you. You have to make decisions that you didn't generally have to make before as a byproduct of being in that position. So when it comes down to transformational leadership, you understand these areas are literally affect our lives every single day. Whether we realize it or not, or we're going to be honest about it or not, you're affected by these things. So let's talk about galvanizing the masses, okay? It is very important that you understand a part of transformational leadership is understanding that if you have a concept or an idea, that it shouldn't stop with you. You should have the ability to bring people around an idea. Bring people around a concept so that you can accomplish something. So I need a volunteer. We're about to play this game. It's called Match the Movement. Any volunteers? Okay, I'm just gonna start calling people. Okay, Armand, thank you. Thank you, Armand. Give it up for Armand. Thank you. Now, I need somebody, Sydney, if you put 20 seconds on the clock. So Armand, over here we have some definitions, okay? These are 8 movements that have happened in history. What I need you to do is take this, and hopefully it'll stick. Okay, it's gonna stick. I need you to take these papers and put the paper you think is with the right definition. Okay? I have 8. Can you do that? You went to public school. I'm just playing. That was rude. Okay, here you go. You ready, Sydney? Yeah. Ready, go.
How long do I have?
20. Jesus, Armand. I give him an extra 10, just to be generous. I give him an extra 10. Lord, Armand.
great, Armand. Keep put, that's good.
I don't know if it's right.
Just put them up there, baby. Just kidding. Help it over.
Time. Give it up for Armand. You tried. You tried.
20 seconds though.
That was 30. That was 30. Okay, let me see if you got this right. That's actually correct.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that, Armand. Well, you should know this, women's suffrage. Yes, they got their right to vote. Okay, good job. Okay, so the purpose of that was all of these were ideas, right, at one point. All of these were concepts at one point. And somebody had this idea or concept, and they caused people to come around this idea and get involved with that. All of us are affected by that. So my only point is, it brings people around an idea. It's very simple. If you're going to be a transformational leader, you're bringing people around an idea. Women's suffrage was the idea of giving women the right to vote. Occupy Wall Street was a protest against corruption and different things like that with large corporations and stuff like that. I had the civil rights movement up there. It was about equal rights for African Americans. The Tea Party, all these different movements were a part of trying to get change to happen within a culture, but it took people getting around an idea. They had to lay down their customs. They had to lay down their own perspectives. They had to lay down what they thought about themselves to say, hey, we're going to get around what this person is saying. There's a quote I want to read to you by Joe Green. He says, causes brings over 140 million people together to form the world's largest giving community. The belief that everyone has something to give is at the core of what we do. People just need a little inspiration and to know that whoever they are, and that's correct. Yeah. And to know that whoever they are, there is something meaningful they can do. If you're being seen, if you're being heard, if you feel like you can be a part of something, we tend to go all in, right? If you're in a relationship with somebody and they make you feel like you can be all in, you go all in. No holding back. Some of us should, but no holding back. You feel that you're experiencing that as a result of being involved with this idea.
Thank you for watching or listening to this week's episode of Leading with Lee. I hope that you were inspired, equipped, and empowered. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe today. And to get updates about all the things that I'm doing, connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Lee A. Scott II or Lee A. Scott II. I hope that you will tune in for the next episode of Leading with Lee. Much love, and let's get started.